The Concept 1B is a vehicle that I haven't talked about for a while on the channel, mainly because it doesn't matter what balance changes happen to the game, what tanks get buffed or nerfed. For the most part, this vehicle has the exact same playstyle. You simply hide the hull armor, you showcase the turret, and you get bounces all day. However, in the latest update of the game, I'd be willing to say that the Concept 1B got the largest buff it has ever received. And that is because, first of all the heavy tanks in Tier 10 lost effective armor. What do I mean by that? Well, if we take a look at enhanced armor, it went from a 4% armor buff to a 3% armor buff. This is obviously huge for a vehicle like the Concept, which doesn't feature that much heat pen, because vehicles like the E100, with their big, boxy, well-armored turrets, used to be very hard to cut through, but now, with the decrease in the armor's effectiveness when running enhanced, that helps out this vehicle. And when you pair that with the fact that its premium went from 340 mils to 350 with the latest calibrated shell changes, it basically just gives this vehicle an edge over the super heavily armored tanks. The VK90, the E100, anything like that, you can now quite confidently cut through with the Concept. And when you pair that with the fact that this tank's armor basically didn't get worse because you physically can't pen the Concept turret, yeah, this is still an absolutely incredible tank. The Concept 1B is amazing for a lot of reasons. It's very accurate. In fact, I'm going to be running Refined Gun on this vehicle for how accurate it is at .269 dispersion. You know, a lot of people on paper say, oh, the E5's more accurate, but you have to remember this tank's got quite a bit better on-move dispersion, which actually I think makes this a better vehicle in that regard. It's got really solid DPM at 2,800, and its average damage per shot, while anything not crazy at 380, is still pretty good to bleeding out your opponents. So it's got pen, gun depression, DPM, ridiculously good accuracy. It features the emergency track mechanic, which means if your tracks get destroyed, you can reverse at 7 kilometers per hour, and has a top speed of 45. I mean, in all regards, this is the do-it-all heavy. I mean, sure, its hull armor is pretty weak. If you do expose your upper or lower plate at most angles, you're going to be penned. But that's pretty understandable. The advantage of this tank is that if you expose the turret, you're not going to be penned like ever. So you obviously got to have some give and take. I still believe that the Concept is a somewhat overpowered vehicle, especially if used properly, because it's still basically uncounterable on a ridgeline if you know what you're doing. It's fast, it's got DPM, it's got accuracy, it's the whole shebang. So we are going to make our way up this hill, and hopefully we're going to be able to make our way to medium flank. The Concept's power to weight is solid, but it's not like the best. Obviously mediums and faster vehicles are going to beat you towards the medium flank, but it's not too big of a deal. This tank is still pretty quick. I mean, 45 kilometers per hour is making it one of the fastest heavies in the game right now, as for some reason Wargaming really seems to be nerfing a lot of heavies' mobility. We've seen that for the IS-7. Originally it had a top speed of 50, and now it's all the way down to 42. The 5A had a top speed of 50, and it's at 45. The 113 went 50, it's down to 45. So Wargaming's really taken away a lot of the top speed of certain heavies. So the Concept is actually quite mobile in that regard. Alright, well, we have a T-22 on the side here, and we can also see a shell hit the dirt, which is kind of telling me that they might have a Foch in the back, which isn't that big of a deal. I mean, a Foch isn't... Yeah, there's another shell that hits the dirt. Would not surprise me if there was a Foch in the back. T-22 gets shot once, and I'm able to slam a shell in as well for 409, so that takes about 800 health off of the T-22, which is a pretty solid amount. You can see how accurate this gun is on the move, by the way. As I was saying before, this is a very, very accurate vehicle, allowing it to get away with very, very just solid moves in really any use case, which is really, really nice. So we get another shell into the enemy T-22, which is obviously pretty good. I don't think this T-22 is really enjoying our company at this point. Let's get another shell out, 368 damage right there. And it looks like the E-50 did end up getting shot by the Foch, which isn't too surprising. And I'm not really sure why that bat chat traded with me, because he obviously lost that trade. And the T-22 overexposes and allows us to get a clearing shell. So, kind of a win-win there, right? We got the Boss Chatillon off to the side, and I'm just going to poke the bat chat again. I mean... Oh, okay. Well, apparently it's not the Foch. It's a 7.52 camping in their spawn. Well, not much I can do about that, right? I mean, you can't predict a 7.52 is going to be camping in their spawn. You really just can't. Thankfully, we are taking, again, advantage of this vehicle's accurate gun. Oh, that's not the 114 that shot me. That is a different tank. So that might be the 4005. Interesting. So basically, their entire team is camping on one small road, which is a little disappointing, I'm not going to lie. We're going to even on the 114 and bounce his flat side. Thank you, game. That's not really the concept's fault, let's be honest. That's just called bad RNG. Let's aim it on the 114 again. There you go. Better shot there from our second roll. We're at 3,200 damage. There's the 4005 that shot me before. We're going to aim it on that. Yeah, we'll clear the 4005. Especially because he did shoot me earlier. I wasn't correct about the Foch being back there, too. I kind of figured that was the case. Ah, it turns his tank at the last moment. Very unfortunate. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but it definitely took away some of the damage that we were dealing to him. We'll get a nice bounce on the side of the 7.5 too. I mean, it would be nice game if I could get out just a little bit more damage. You know, okay. I'm a little speechless, guys. I actually am a little speechless because 3 shots trolled us one after another after another. We would have done a little bit more. I mean, we still did 3,000 damage, and it's, again, like, the gun of the concept was not the reason we bounced those shots. The shells went basically where we aimed all the shells, but I can't complain too much. We still did 3,000 damage. We still got a victory, and we supported our team. Just a bit cringe is the best way to describe the ending shots of that match. It's not the concept's fault. Shells went exactly where I aimed. Just unlucky. So we have a second battle here. Up against us, U100 and a Kron. Okay. And then they have a 183 and a Yag. That's obviously a little bit scary, but not that big of a deal. We are going to go with the standard B and the rest of the mobile tanks. As we said, the concept is quite fast. It goes at a top speed of 45, and we can see that here. It's actually rather quick to accelerating up to that speed as well. You know, a lot of people look at like the IS-7 and say, oh, it's fast, but it's really not nearly as fast as a vehicle like the concept. This tank is really, really quick. And when you pair that with the fact that it's got a really accurate gun for most things considered, of course, when I say that it misses, but you know what I'm saying. Either way, let's move up. This game is looking like a steamroll. However, somehow our standard B has managed to lose 1,600 health. I'm not sure how that's actually possible. You must have gotten high explosive pen by that. Alright, let's just drive up the ridge like this. And, well, I'm not able to hit the 183, but I am able to hit the Jagdpanzer. There you go. One easy shell. We are spotted. And as much as I'm a little cautious about being shot at, I'm not too worried. I mean, I can't pen the Yag at that angle. We see base B. We see all the bases being capped. That Yag is, oh, of course. Alright, well, the 183 is driving up. Okay, bruh. Well, we got a dead commander, basically, for the next 80 seconds, which is really fun. I don't even know what spotting me, to be honest. I mean, we really shouldn't be getting spotted from that. Yeah, having a dead commander is really going to make this a little less enjoyable. I think it was that AMX shooting me all the way on top of the ridge there. I mean, it was a decent play from the AMX. He was able to get some bleeds out into us, but oh well. We got the T-22 on the flank. The Yag is... he's still alive. Well, there's the 100 in the back. I really want to see if we can pen an E100 turret. It looked like we can. But I swear, if that's the AMX still shooting at me... like, the problem is our team's just trying to kill these TDs, and they're not really doing anything else. And because of that, my lesser camoed heavy is getting outspotted by the enemy tanks, which is obviously not what you want, so that's the only problem here. But we get a nice shell into the U100, and as you can see, you can easily cut through the U100 turret, so there you go. Oh, there's the AMX camping in the back. Nice 475 shell. We're up to 1,500 damage, which is pretty good. And the U100 gets bonked. Okay, well, let's aim it on the U100, and... aw, imagine if that had hit. That would have been crazy. Alright, well, we got 12 seconds left on our repair kit, and then we can hopefully fix our broken modules. This T-22 played a bit aggressive, but I'm going to make sure that he is not able to really punish us too much. Let's get another shell into the T-22. We get a bounce. This is where, again, driving this tank just feels so powerful because of the fact you have so much armor on the turret, so much mobility. It's almost impossible to really counter this tank in most situations. Of course. It goes into the red bar. The only spot I can't pen the 100. I'm telling you, the game's like out to get me today. Alright, let's try again. There you go. We get a pen into the U100, and it's a bit of a high roll, which means we don't have to worry too much about, you know, anything there. T-22 is driving into a wall, which allows us to get a low roll, but still a pen out. Alright, well the enemy team is up on base cap, but what they aren't up on is the rest of their capabilities here. T-22 drives over the ridge. We got the Kron all the way on the distance. There you go. Nice shell into the Kron. Again, accuracy-wise, this vehicle is really, really nasty. You're not going to miss too many shots in this tank, which is honestly fantastic. There you go. I thought the T-22 was going to overpoke. If that Kron hits me, then oh well. But we're going to cross this, and we do indeed get away with crossing it, and oh my god. Well, I guess I'm going to die, because the game kind of Oh, thank god. The game... Oh, but my ammo gets hit, bro! Oh, there's no way this game's real, bro. Well, oh well. I mean, the game basically trolled me there. We're going to win this, so it's not that big of a deal, but I can't really say we aimed that poorly. Our shell just went a little outside the reticle, and because of that... Oh boy, 4005, please don't mess that up. Okay, now we're good. T-22 turned side on there, and then 4005 was able to overmatch him. Okay, well, not a bad game. You can definitely see where the concept feels strong, but where it also, it can fall apart. Its major weakness in general is just being caught out, but that's obviously the case for any tank. But we definitely got a little bit handled when... I would say that Kron all the way in the back corner and the AMX sitting up top was able to bleed us out a little bit. But you can't predict where the entire enemy team's going to be, so it's just a little unfortunate in that situation, especially that our commander got damaged. But we were still able to deal over 3,900 damage, take advantage of the games in front of us. I mean, the concept really is just an amazing tank. It's almost hard to do bad in it. I got a 90% with 3,700 in the vehicle so far. It's got mobility, it's got DPM, it's got accuracy. It has everything going for it. And when you combine these things together, it makes it just one of the strongest tier 10s. So let me know what you guys think. I think after the latest update, the concept has become all the way up to the top of the vehicles, just because of the fact that the tank now has the heat pen to deal with tanks that it previously wouldn't have. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.